Hello, welcome back to Reliquia Park. Let's continue where we left off. We did leave off on a pretty challenging puzzle. Unfortunately, I was unable to solve the puzzle myself, so I attempted to look for a hint of some kind, but I couldn't find one without actually finding the answer as well. Let me go find the secret for spires first. It's 9s9 bolt 0. Okay. Let's key that in. So unfortunately, I have spoiled myself of the solution to the second puzzle. However, I would like to make note that the second puzzle... Okay, let me solve the first one first. Also, I cannot believe that I have to resolve all of this. There is no, like... Okay, well, at least I sort of know the solution, so... I know the solution to this one. It's not that tough. Because I remember it. I remember how hard it was to get to this dang solution. Anyway, the solution was this. Ta-da! And this actually is really interesting because this does tie in directly with the solution for the second puzzle, which is almost identical except just flipped 90 degrees. No, not flipped, but rotated. I did notice that the center has not a lot of space. However, you can form a couple of lines in this direction. So a vertical and a horizontal line could intersect in a special way. Of course, I didn't get this information myself. I had to watch someone else discover it for themselves. But it looks like this is just a very similar version of a puzzle that... Not a puzzle, but... you know... I believe it is like... What is it like? I kind of don't remember the solution. It is... Holy crap, I forget. Well, it is somewhat of an A shape. It's just an A shape with its two outer lines being horizontal and vertical. So I guess since I've forgotten, I can just kind of resolve this myself. So... yeah, if it's a similar A shape, then naturally you will have a very strict night diagonal. Actually, that's not. Yeah, a very strict night diagonal, another very strict night diagonal, and a single diagonal like this. So let's try doing that. Okay, let's shift that a little bit and see if we get anything more ideal here. We should be getting something. I think yes, if I did this, you can get something close. There you go. So this somehow solves it even though it looks nothing like a valid solution. There's one here, there's one here, there's one very interesting looking diagonal. It's very hard to spot, but it's this diagonal along this dark line. A rather a steep night line here and a not so steep night line here. So there are 5 lines and that actually solves the puzzle. Which is kind of insane that it does, but okay. Next up, puzzle number 3. Oh wow, this is a lot less space. Okay, we have... well, it's not a lot less space, but it should be pretty hard to spot. We have 3 blanks here. And I don't think my very initial solution could resolve this either. Because my very initial solution did use the center. It also used the side quite a bit, so... let's see if it could make this sort of... a variation. If I somehow tried to, you know, flip or stretch a solution that I already have, but I'm not sure how I could resolve this. I don't even know how I would start sometimes. So yeah, I don't know about this one. Okay. Because this forms 4, making some sense here, but there's this one here which sort of lines up with this one here, but nothing else really. Maybe I could do something inside. like making it line up with the inside line here. This forms a 3 here, here, and here. I'm not sure how I could make it do any more. So right now, what is not part of a double? I think this one, no, this one's part of a double. This one is not part of the double, I think. And by double, I mean part of a line of 2. Yeah, it's part of this thing. And I think neither is this one. Yeah, this one's not either. It's part of a single line. The only issue is it's really hard to find existing lines already. If we take out these, it's really hard to find existing lines here. So yeah. Okay, so let's see. How else could I try to do this? Does a night line work? I think a night line like this exists. So I'm not sure how close it might be to the solution. We could try with a vertical line passing through it. This is not how it goes in my original solution, but maybe we could skew the solution to be somewhat similar. So doing this gives us 3 lines. Doesn't really do anything else though besides giving us 3 lines. Yeah. Maybe a third line can be like in here instead. This forms another night line. I'm not sure if that's valid. That appears valid. Maybe it could form some sort of diagonal like this. But this kind of diagonal is already very cramped. It's like way too many pieces. I also have a lot of potential horizontals and verticals here. So something like this would form a bunch of 3s in a row. Could I find 2 positions that could both form 2 more 3 in a rows plus a diagonal? Yes, here and down there. Nice, there it is. That's another solution. This is different from all the solutions we've been through so far. So let me try and document it here. I have a drawing. I have a whiteboard here where I can draw stuff. So I drew the 2 general solutions already. This solution is different. It is 2 night lines that converge in a diagonal line, or that meet a diagonal line, sort of like a witch's hat. And that diagonal line sort of forms a cross horizontally. So this is a different solution. I think it's very slightly different from the A that we've done before. But it is a solution, and there we go. Okay, I wonder when my original solution will be available. Like, could it be available here? Oh, it could be actually. This is not available here, but I think my original solution could be available here if I flipped it horizontally. Ooh, can I? There's 2 spaces here that are empty, which may not be very visible. And I'm going to assume all of these are horizontally, rotationally symmetrical. Yeah, I don't think this is it. There's just not enough space for everything. Right? There's one here. I can form a lot of stuff there. But there's just not enough. This line which is not, and this line which is not part of a double. Everything else should be part of a double here. But unfortunately, no, I don't think my original solution works here. So we could try doing sort of a variation of an existing solution. Like for example, instead of a night line, we could go for a horizontal plus a diagonal, which sort of has the same style as a night line in terms of the angle it forms. I'm not sure if that really works. The A plus the slanted A doesn't really have that same property, but we could try that. So now, how does this work? This should eventually converge in some way, and so let's assume this somehow converges into a night line of sorts. I can do that by placing this here and here. Unfortunately, they don't converge in the same way, so this might become an issue. If I push this in here, there could be another vertical line here. We eventually, in our original solution of the previous puzzle, we did have a crossing of two horizontal lines here. So could there somehow now be a crossing of a vertical and a night line instead? Because we're using a horizontal and a diagonal. Or could it even be a crossing of two night lines? That'd be really hard to spot. But I could find one maybe here. Like this. It would require one more down there. It could form something special that looks like this, but no, not really. Okay. I could shift these around. So I could make a vertical line like this. The vertical line... issue is vertical line generally would like to hit the end of the night line. Based on the previous solution. So a vertical line like this seems to work somewhat. However, what we are missing is a final line to tie it all together, and the two things that are not part of a double is this one, and I believe this one. Yeah. Everything else should be part of a double of some sort. And you can prove that by moving one of these away and proving that it... Oh, this one's not either. Okay. So how do we form a knight here? I can see these three form a knight's move thing here, but I can't really move anything to change that. However, okay, I could say I could shift this over a little bit to form a knight line there. But this doesn't really give me an extra line. In fact, it breaks some lines away. So, no. And at this point, we're leaning more towards a horizontal and a night line already, which then meet up again elsewhere. So probably not like that. Have I tried a horizontal night line and then a diagonal? Like this? Perhaps so. This forms a fourth line. Can I find a fifth somewhere? This is not part of one. If I push this out, I can form a sort of night line like this with the last piece here. But no, this clearly doesn't work either. I don't know why it said clearly. But this is almost basically just a mirror image of what I did before, which is a horizontal plus a night line. Unfortunately, what can I do here? I can spot a couple other interesting things. Like, I can form another night line here potentially if there was a space there. By shifting this over, I can form another night line like this. What kind of shape is that? And can I change anything about this? I can form here to form a 3 vertically. Does that form another 3 of some sort? Not quite. But I do notice that something like this looks interesting. Because there exists one here, one here, one here, and one here. There is just no diagonal. So this is very similar to the solution in the second puzzle. But wouldn't really work. Okay. So, what shall we do? This might be another episode that's just on this puzzle alone. Okay, so let's say I change my mind and go horizontal nightline. Horizontal plus a nightline like this. Just choose a random combination of lines you want to start with first and then build from there. Looks like I could form potentially a nightline here, which is interesting. So this almost feels like something like this might make sense. There's 2 vertical lines potentially makeable, but I think we've proven in a previous episode that you cannot have parallel lines. Yes, I think last episode we proved that you can't have parallel lines. So 2 vertical lines here doesn't work. 1 vertical line could. So this could form something. And then the only thing we need to tie it is a diagonal. Issue is, where can I find one of those? 2 night lines is really constrained in the fact that 2 night lines are forced in position. You can't shift things around to the left and right. Whereas diagonals, horizontals, and verticals don't have that constraint. So unfortunately, I can make verticals like this, but I can't really do much else with the knight or with the with the other things. So do I want to start with this? And if I do want to start with this, is it better to make an X like this instead, so I can sort of more focus on the X that forms? So the issue is this leads to a lot of parallel lines. You have a lot of potentials for horizontals and verticals here, but you can only ever have one of each, which makes it so that most of these start becoming redundant. The way I position these also means that there's very little diagonals that you can form. You can see here that very little, in fact none of these lie on the same diagonal, I think, which is interesting but also somehow really crazy. So this doesn't feel very good. If I instead converted you into, I can't convert you into a not so steep. Okay, what if I shifted everything up by 1? Can I do that? Well, I can, but the night line still doesn't exist because this is too tall. So maybe 2 night lines is not the thing I need to do here. I think 2 night lines did exist in other places. Like in the previous puzzle, it was 2 night lines that merged together. However, could I bend my original solution in some way then? So my original solution started with a diagonal plus a night line, which obviously you can't really do here. You can sort of do it like if you flipped it around. So you can do a diagonal like this plus a night line like this. But you can't really extend from here, because then you need a horizontal that goes through here, and there's just very little space where that can flourish. You'd also need a vertical plus another night line. And the other night line here, I think, is one that looks like this. There is nothing else I can do here, except maybe alter the position of this thing. But not really in a very useful manner. I can move it down to form this. Yeah, but see, this space here is empty, and if it weren't empty, this would be a solution, but it is empty, and I can't find one that fits this thing, so you know, I might not be able to change that. However, what if I tried something else? Like perhaps if I shifted everything to the right by 1, I can still form a night line, but I can also form a diagonal that looks like this. Oops. What could this do for me? Well, for starters, find a horizontal up here plus a vertical here. Where else can I find other things such as diagonals? I can find another vertical here, and that could form maybe a night line somewhere. It's very hard for these to form night lines though. The issue is it's just not very easy for that to work out. So where else can I place? I can place another night line like so, but the last one is going to be in a very weird spot because I can't find any 3 or 4s here. If I shifted everything in by 1, I don't think that changes much. Yeah. Okay, that's weird. What if I did something different, like starting with the same base as the initial solution, but shifted over? Where else can a night line even exist at this point? Maybe here. There can exist a night line there. But we're kind of stuck at this point, I think. This fourth line is not stuck to anything. And neither is this really. So I could somehow fit something there. The question is, how does this help? I think that says it doesn't. There is no 3 here, I think. Yeah, it's just not enough space to fit 3s anywhere. So this is probably not it. I wonder how they derive the second puzzle solution. How would you derive a solution to this in the first place? What does something like this accomplish? Nothing much. In fact, a horizontal and vertical line doesn't really help. It did help in the previous puzzle, but the previous puzzle was really special anyway. It's not like I can do that same solution again just because... Yeah, you can't do that same solution, I think. You could try. Let's see what happens if I try it. You can form a couple of night lines. What happens after this? You can't really form a diagonal like this, but you can try to form a diagonal. Upon forming that diagonal, what happens? You then need a horizontal and a vertical, which can't really exist here. There exists a horizontal, but no vertical. And I don't think you can sort of alter anything to change that because the night lines are forced into place. So yeah, if this was here and you had a space here, that would fit, but it doesn't. How would I stretch this in another way? What if I made the diagonal line vertical somehow? Then I would sort of require... Well, let's put this at the end because there's nothing else that really does anything with this anymore. I would require perhaps 2 night lines that converge. They have to be pretty far away for them to converge though. Maybe they wouldn't even converge, maybe they would just, you know... Maybe they would converge, just not in a very convenient place. Like, yeah, this isn't a very convenient place to converge. However, what could be more convenient is one diagonal and one non-diagonal. What the heck am I doing? What in the world is this? What is this? What is this? Maybe 2 diagonal lines can merge somehow. Question is, how can 2 diagonal lines merge? It does seem that they can merge like this. And then one more down here. But yeah, there isn't really anywhere good I can do anything about this. It's still about night lines, isn't it? You can't do this without night lines, and night lines are most restrictive. So even if I did start with a base of a vertical line here, I would still need to somehow find a way to accommodate at least 1 night line. I think every puzzle so far has had multiple night lines. Every solution so far has had multiple night lines. So I need to fit more than 1 night line in here, which is fair, I suppose. So let's see if we can try doing something like this. A night line and a diagonal line that sort of do something weird. So you have 1 night line here, and then 1 diagonal line here. And let's get rid of these 2 because those don't really have any importance. I thought this is a solution that we've seen before, but perhaps it isn't. There should be a vertical somewhere I can take advantage of. Maybe to form a horizontal of some kind. What is this? Oh, this is about the vertical. I noticed that at this point, this isn't part of anything else. So what could it be part of? A vertical? No, we already have a vertical somewhere else. A horizontal, maybe? If it were part of a horizontal... How in the world would this horizontal even work out? Doesn't seem like it would. However, you can push everything over by half. I think pushing everything over by half might give us more space. However, you can't really get anywhere where this sort of converges. There's a vertical line here and a horizontal line here, but they don't converge very well. If you shift everything back, they do converge somewhere, which is good and nice, but not necessarily, you know, a good option. Because you do still need two. Well, one thing I can do is form a 3-knight line here. There's a 3-knight line which a fourth one could send there. But still not good. This doesn't work because this is just not part of anything. It should be, but it isn't. Okay, so starting over again. Let's see how that could possibly form a solution. What could this be part of? You could form a diagonal line, you could form a vertical line. Another knight line is interesting, but possibly eventually not very useful. You could form another diagonal. But how would that diagonal even mesh with everything else? Come on, another diagonal that is part of like a... That's not part of the diagonal. Like, the only two cells that are part of this diagonal are this cell and this cell, which don't have much synergy with anything else. Sorry, I just took a second to stretch. I don't know. There's just not a lot of ways I can deal with this very well. Do the solutions get more and more chaotic? Because I know my solution is pretty chaotic compared to the rest, which are symmetrical. Mine is not symmetrical, so maybe this one isn't either. Maybe the last one will be the hardest one and my solution will somehow get there. Not sure though. Besides that, what else can this do? You can form another... You can't actually form another knight line, can you? No. Again, a vertical line seems most promising, but what can a vertical line possibly turn into? It's just another bunch of horizontal lines after that. Hmm. How can I do anything here? Like actually, what? 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 What is going on? Okay, I see where a potential fifth line could go, but nothing can really fit in there, honestly. I just have not enough potential lines. Yeah, what is this puzzle, and why am I suddenly just... I mean, I'm blanking out like in the puzzle 2, I guess, but this one, I mean, it is just equally as frustrating. These puzzles are frustrating because there's absolutely no direction. There's almost nothing you can go off of here other than just to take inspiration from other solutions. What? I could also try what the other guy did and just draw on this grid. But do I want to bring out the paint? And then also, do I want to, you know, not show you guys the paint? Because I don't think I can put paint on this. I tried. But I can't actually... I just opened paint. I meant to open snipping. It's just how in the world am I supposed to do anything here? How do I know? You know what would look pretty similar though? This. It would look pretty similar, but also there wouldn't be space. Unfortunately, there just wouldn't be space. I think there wouldn't be space. Okay. Let me try something. I'm just randomly drawing dots on the screen to see if there's anything I can, you know, fit things on. So don't mind me if I'm just randomly just pausing a little bit. You know what would solve this? This empty spot here would solve it, I think. It would form... well... yeah, because this currently is a blank. So pushing that down would solve the solution, would solve the puzzle. But I think pushing it down would also form a solution I've created before, so I'm just rediscovering my own solution here. Now that there is not that is not the case. It's just well, I don't know what it is, honestly. But I no longer believe that this is the solution that exists here. Yeah. So let's propose a different start. Let's propose this. Well, interestingly, I can do this. That's very close. Put something up here from a fourth solution. But it won't be part of anything special. Neither would this. So that has to sort of also form its own thing. But it can't really form its own thing, I don't think, because... yeah, okay. What if I shifted everything down by 1? That's plausible. But probably not useful. It is just the other night line in the previous solution. We can try a diagonal in the center, like this. But not really, can we? Okay, this forms a 3 like diagonal like this, but not really a 4. Now, how do I do this? What? Why am I so flabbergasted by this puzzle? I'm so taken aback. I don't know if there's any other way I can think about doing this besides having a baseline and having 4 things coming out of that line that somehow merge together. If I look at my previous solutions, I think the things that form the top edge are actually different in most solutions. So suppose I now got the two end position, the two end spires to converge. How can I form 2 more lines that, you know, continue this? And the answer is not possible. I don't think it's possible. What about 1 and 3? That's an interesting idea. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What, I have 9 points only? What? I guess I don't have enough intersections. There's no way I don't have enough intersections. Hold on. Right, there's one here that I'm missing and one here that I'm missing. So how do I resolve this? Basically, each line has to pass through 3 other lines, which is insane. That's not entirely true, but I'm just really struggling to find a shape here that isn't just a remodel of a previous shape. What about something that might look like... I'm not sure. I'm just trying to figure out something that might even begin to work here. Yeah, we did this and this. That's how we got that solution. And then what else? I'm starting to get... Okay, so I'm drawing a baseline, and that baseline will be the first line that we make. And it doesn't matter which orientation it is, because we always just tweak it to get the orientation that we require later. But there will always be a singular line at the very beginning. Then each point in that line must be part of another line. I think I assume that is true, because we need 10 intersections. So every single spire is an intersection, because I know such thing as 3 intersections in this puzzle as well, and we've proven that. So we need to draw 4 lines branching from this singular line. Those 4 lines have to then intersect with each other in such a way that it forms, you know, some interesting shape. And I think interestingly enough, if you select a good enough baseline, all of my solutions so far have involved a single baseline two of those branches forming a peak, a tallest point, and the remaining two lines sort of crumpling themselves underneath that peak. And so the combinations I've done so far are the one at the end and the one beside it, the two center ones. But I haven't done one where it's the one in the end and the middle one opposite and the furthermost one. Whoa, did you hear that? My Spotify stopped for a sec. You know what I could try though? Try something like this. That's a star. I just drew a star. I just drew a star. A star is 10 points though, so you know that's entirely plausible. But what are the chances that a star actually works? Like, I don't think there's any chance that a star actually works. Maybe it's just the how would a star work? Could a star work? Have I drawn even a single, like, without ignoring the blank spaces, have I drawn a single star that works? I don't think so. Right? I'm just trying to draw a star that works. The problem is that I know why a star wouldn't work in this case. I think the reason why is because the angles just are not right for a star. Maybe if I try, you know, another orientation of a star, it might work. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Wait. Oh, hold on, no, I don't think this works. Yeah, I don't think this really works out. I'm trying to do one where it's one horizontal, one vertical. I'm not sure if that is ideal or not. Because, yeah, maybe that star can't be symmetrical is the problem. Maybe I'm just trying to form some symmetrical sort of star. Yeah, that's not really valid, is it? Yeah, I don't think I can find a star that works. It's just I can't find a star that works, I don't think. So yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Star doesn't work. Okay. And the thing is, a star doesn't work as a baseline with branches. A star is actually just a star. If a star doesn't work, then it has to be a baseline with branches, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so suppose there exists a line from the side, from the corner. Right, nothing can really pass through that line because it requires you to be on the opposite side of that line to begin with. But that's not possible because the line is at the corner. Is at the one end of the baseline. Okay, so two things have to come up from that, and those two things have to somehow converge. And I think I can see why this is a thing that exists now. Because they have to somehow both cross this third line here, and they can't do that. So it really does have to be like this. Which forms your A shape. Are there really only this number of solutions? I don't know. What other variations can I think of, honestly? If I tried to form a horizontal and vertical version of this, it's a diagonal that forms two like knight-ish lines. I mean, that does seem to make some sense, right? A horizontal and vertical that are connected by a diagonal line. They just have to be so close together that that a diagonal line can even exist, which is the problem. This shape doesn't really make it very plausible. Because where in the world does such a line exist? Here? Like the only lines where you can have like such a small is here, but then, you know, doesn't really work anymore. Well, something that works would be here. And then a vertical over there. You can then form a very long diagonal like this. The problem is that you can't really form a knight's move anymore. Somewhere else I can see this might possibly working is... No. Well... Okay, hold on. Hold on. I realize now that one of these could be at the corners, so this could happen. Right? Well, the problem is that... No. Because that wouldn't work. The reason why this appeared to work but didn't actually work is because... Yeah, these diagonal lines need to form a knight's move thing. But they can't. If they could, that would be perfect. And I can almost spot somewhere that might fit that criteria but doesn't actually fit that criteria. It's a line that sort of looks like this. But no, unless I could have done, you know, something more like this to form a nice move with this one and maybe this one, you know, to form like something like this. I can't really do that with the other cells now, can I? I don't think so. And doesn't really exist a diagonal here either. has to be something like this. But nope. Nope. Just straight up nope. Okay, what if the center two lines were not a vertical and a horizontal but an X in some way? Then perhaps they would have to do this. Does this work? I'm conceiving some weird shape. That might barely work out. Although it's quite suspicious if it did work out, because if it did work out, it would basically, I don't know what it would mean if it did work out, but it does have to start with something that looks like this, which is already pretty sketch on its own. And I know this probably wouldn't work because for this to work, you need like a really big base, which you don't have. You don't even have a base big enough given you're at regular 8x8. I see. Interesting. So that's why it doesn't work. Okay. That's not enough. Whatever it is. Wait, no, what am I doing? That's a really strange shape, but it might just barely work out. Hold on, let's see if I can get that to even work. It is based on okay, can I get one of those? I don't even know if I can. Can I get a okay, maybe I can get a vertical one of some kind. You get some I don't think so actually. Wait. Where can I get this like not so it has to be on the floor. That's what it has to be. It has to be something like this. I mean that does seem to make a bit of sense. It's just that there's not enough space to fit another one that goes so far. It has to be one that, you know, doesn't actually. You have to do this, but you know, this we already know it doesn't really work out. What the heck? Or even if I could get one like where I'm standing right now, in place of this one, can I even you know generally work out? I don't think so. I don't think so. So let's scrap that. What happens if the baseline were a knight move? Would it even make sense? It can't be two diagonals. It could be another knight's move plus a diagonal. Which then somehow combine in a third knight's move and a vertical. But how in the world are we gonna have three knights moves that even fit together? That just seems straight up non-existent. We haven't had a solution of three knights moves yet. Or three knight lines yet. Maybe this one will be the first, but I highly doubt it. It really does require the same setup. The same usual setup like this. I don't even know if you have space. Okay, hold on. Gosh. I wonder if this game has hints, but I mean, probably not for this kind of thing. Cause oh, there doesn't exist another night move. Okay, I get why you can't have 3 nights move, because there doesn't exist a night move that crosses these two. The only thing that crosses these two are uh uh horizontal verticals right now, verticals. There also exists diagonals, like mild diagonals, but I don't think I can really do anything about that. That's a mild diagonal. But that mild diagonal, what? Oh, this was part of this night's move. Okay, that's why. They don't do anything. You get 2 diagonals, but no horizontal or vertical to resolve it all. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Can I actually... I want to go find a hint. I really want to go just get the answer. That is how tired of this puzzle I am at this point. I mean, what can I even... What can I even change my solution to? I've tried everything that I can think of trying. Right? I've tried randomly putting in stuff. I've tried using my other solutions as inspiration for this one. I've tried other ideas that already exist, but not really. So what is there left to do? Must there exist 2 knights moves in all solutions? I feel like there must, but I cannot figure out how I could get that to work. Like, knights moves can interact in any way they want, right? So far from what I can tell, there hasn't been one where 2 knights moves intersect, except a couple levels ago. I don't know if I want to go back there, but I think the solution is there. Can I do that? If I try it? I can. What can I do from there? I don't know. I don't know. How else can 2 knights moves even interact? Like, basically never seen. Okay. So let's try the thing where the knights moves one end and one center. So where can I set up a random knight line? Here, 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 and here. Let's try... Can I shift this? Here? I can make... Okay, I haven't tried making a night intersection that does this. But it really looks like that. You can't really do much here. There's like almost no chance of there being... Does there exist a point where you can form more 3x3s? Sorry, three liners. Because this can form a 3-liner in the vertical direction, but nowhere else, right? Can form a bunch of other diagonals, but none of them really seem to work out. I can't believe this is not it. Again, all of these seem to lie on different diagonals, which makes diagonals pretty tough. So I'm not sure what I can do about this. Next thing is a diagonal plus a night line. What threes in a row can I form? If I was sneaky enough, I could almost form a vertical plus a diagonal here, but I can't. And the reason for that is because these two are blank. And can I resolve this is the problem. I think the answer is probably not. Okay, what about here? At this point, hold on, at this point, this forms a couple 3 lines. It forms a 3 line. So I should just move this way. It forms a 3 line here and a 3 line here. As you place the 2 more in such a way that they themselves form another thing. But I don't know if I can do that because those. What? What? Why is this? No. No is all I can say. Right? There's a lot of 4s I can make, clearly. I have gone through no shortage of 4s. But okay. Maybe at this point I should go back and ask, in this particular state, this one doesn't have a thing that it should, a second thing it should connect to. What could it connect to? It could connect to a horizontal line here. Another thing it could also do is simply just, you know, not be there. It could be somewhere else in a nicer spot. Like it could be up here. And in fact, something like this would form multiple 3s. But well, what if I did something like this now? How many have we? We still have 3 3s, okay. We have a lot of extra 4s we can make, but all those 4s are not gonna make a 5. Right? I don't see a 5th 3 that exists. All these is so worrying. Okay, let's remove some stuff first. Let's remove some stuff first from the equation. Okay, so as we continue asking, what else has not been used? This one has not been used in a double yet, right? Neither has this actually. This has only been used in one. But if I placed, the thing is, if I placed something here, it could very easily become a fourth here. This is also, will also become a fourth. What else now? It's just the two lines have to be here and here. You have two horizontal lines that could be formed. The issue is you don't want two horizontal lines. But of course, I can't do anything about that. Two horizontal lines are all I need, but I only have one piece and horizontal lines don't do anything special for me. Okay, so this one will be a night line. And night line doesn't do anything good either. Like this night line doesn't do anything special. No, I think it would if there were different, if something else happened. This forms better opportunities. This also. But the problem is that you need something here, which again leads me back to the same solution I had at the very, very beginning of this entire extravaganza. That solution that didn't work. Pushing it up doesn't do anything. What about pushing them both down here? You could place one of these things in the center. But then this one will only be part of, or it'll be part of two. This will only be part of one. Same for this. You need another one that resolves this one. Actually, yeah. Same for this. This is only part of one. So okay, so back to the previous iteration. Back to where we were just now. What could this be part of then? A vertical line? Okay, this is just the same. Okay, I'm gonna believe that this is not in the correct direction, and that's because that this just looks a lot like similar to the initial solution I had. So whoops. Okay, now what? I guess it's always one diagonal. It's always some number of diagonals, some number of knights, and perhaps some number of horizontals and verticals. It's like it's always gonna be one horizontal, one vertical, one diagonal, and two knights. Is my guess. That is always what the solution will be, because that's what the solution has been. Oh, that's not true. The very first solution was one horizontal, two diagonals, and two knights. Yikes. What if that's the case here as well? I mean, how would I even know? I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know that. But how would I know? That's a true question. How could I solve this logically if I wanted to? Is something else I'd like to ask. And I don't know. I don't know. I just really want to give up at this point. I'm not even sure if I should stare at this for any longer. This is gonna like spread the time during the video, which, you know, how long are we already? 1:15. Jesus. I will just have to edit this, I guess. Okay. All diagonals exist as points on the same line. If we had two diagonals cross, there can't be a third night line that whose both ends touch that cross. However, what we could have is one whose middle section and end do that exact thing. The thing is, how do I make that happen? How do I make this occur? How do I make this happen? This doesn't work. Okay, I need to set it up somewhere else. Is there anywhere else I can set this up? Maybe here? This is getting kind of close to the border. I don't like this, but it's a decent idea to try, I guess. It's just... Huh, okay. Oh, hold on. No, I think this is just a very similar solution to what we tried before, but didn't actually get to work. Yeah. We've already done this. We already done this exact thing before. I just accidentally rediscovered this almost solution. What? Hello? Why is this so tough? Okay, clearly I'm not in the right state of mind to solve this either. But I do just want to get this over and done with. But I can't. Okay. Should I just try bashing at this point? This feels like a really bashy problem. Unless there is some special way to do this, I don't know what else I can do besides bash. Just bash my head against the wall to solve this, that is. I've tried like basically everything at this point, so what? Whoa. Okay, I want to say that I'm looking at someone else doing this right now, and it is also actually just destroying them. Took them about an hour and a half to get this one. I'm not sure if they actually got the solution at all. I don't think they did. Did they get it eventually? Or did they skip? I think it's possible they just skipped. Oh, it looks like they did. Did they eventually get back to this? Or did they solve it? Or did they, you know, do something else? No, I'm almost certain they didn't solve it. I'm trying to look for it. Like, just in their playthrough, I am trying to find some sort of place where they put it, but I don't think they ever solved it after this. Wow. They never got past this one. Did you just not have a solution? Or am I like missing the part where they solved it? Or did they eventually solve it? I just didn't realize they solved it. Oh, I see. They went looking for hints, I think. But I don't think they ever got to the end of this. Huh. So we'll never find the solution then. Unless I find someone else's playthrough. Okay. Oh my gosh, this guy in his 26-minute solve of all 5. Really? How'd you get all 5? Oh, use drawing tools, I see. Interesting. But it looks like this is the final. Okay, no, you did get to 5. You did get to 5. 4, I think, is one that you used to solve the puzzle, which is why you got through it so fast. That is a crazy solution. Wait, what? Oh my gosh. Okay. I see now. I am just going to give up on this puzzle and input my solution in, which is not even my solution. It's just this other guy's solution. It is actually, in fact, 2 diagonals, but one of the diagonals is so squished. How in the world? Firstly, how did you get this so fast? How did you get this in your first playthrough? There's one here, and then this one. I'm just going by memory at this point. One here, one here, one here, and one up there. There it is. Oh, this is such a stupid puzzle. But yeah, wow. Okay, the 5 lines are one here, one horizontal here, one vertical here, and one very sneaky little diagonal here. I have no words for this, I'm just gonna keep going. And I do know that the last one is one that I have solved before. This is the solution that I found the very first time I played this. I'm almost certain. If not, I found a solution, a sixth solution that doesn't fit any of these, which is I would say I would say that would be impressive in and of itself. If it were the oh my goodness. I did find another solution, didn't I? This doesn't fit either. This doesn't fit. Somehow. This doesn't fit. We're missing one spot there. What? Do I have to solve this myself as well? Oh gosh. I was so certain too. I was so certain. I was so certain that, you know. I mean, hold on. Actually, something's different here. No, I think this is a solution I have found. Yes, no. Yeah, no, I'm looking at this and I'm realizing that this is empty, but this is not. I can diagonally flip my solution. Oh gosh, that should be it. If it isn't it, then I don't know what's going on. It's this and this, followed by a bunch of night lines. And then we got another night line, I think here, and then okay, well, this is not right just yet. One here and one here. Yep, there it is. Okay. Yeah, X5 is easy because it's the solution I found. This is the solution that I first put in. Okay, that's it. That's Spire-XendX. I am so done with this. Okay. And you know, to be fair, well, I'm not even gonna be fair to myself. This was just tough. It's tough. Okay, triangle Y170. Okay, save that. Yep, that's it. Alright, next episode we're gonna do the rest. But right now I'm going back to my hub here. This was horrifying. Horrifying in all sorts of manners, in all ways. And I never want to touch a spy in my life ever again. So yeah, thanks for traumatizing me, game. This is some Connect 4 nonsense. You know what? Connect 4 with like night moves would be really interesting now that I think about it. But okay, next episode we might just try the secret for shards. I don't know how much worse it is gonna be. But we'll see then. Until then though, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.